So recently, somebody made a post on Facebook, and it's going viral. And looks like the name of this person who made this post name is Patrick D. Hampton. And this post, I personally found it very sobering as well as entertaining because, and you're going to see why in a second. So I'm going to put it up on screen here. It says, beautiful mosaic of Kamala Harris made out of all the black men she locked up and kept in prison past their release date for jail labor. Hashtag never forget. Now, obviously, this is sobering because this picture looks like it's made up of about maybe, I don't even know, maybe 1,500 men. I'm not even joking. 1,500. That's why it's sobering. And keeping people in prison past their release date to do slave labor is a human rights violation. And this is something, it says you cannot, the Constitution says slavery is outlawed except for when you're put in prison. And a lot of this type of legislation around the country was like, hey, all we have to do is put black people in prison, they can be slaves again. That's pretty much what is going on. Our system is broken. And, a lot of people talk about police brutality, right? When they talk about Black Lives Matter, without realizing that the prison system is actually a much bigger problem in the black community. And I'm saying this as a black man, much bigger problem. This does not mean that the police don't need to be reformed. This does not mean that the police don't need to be defunded, but a lot of our problems, the reason why black men are disproportionately arrested in the first place by police, largely has to do with the Democratic presidential nominee, Joseph Biden. See, people forget this guy wrote the crime bill, okay? This guy wrote the crime bill and is directly responsible for the prosecution of nonviolent drug offenders at such a incredibly high rate. It's just, to me, it's just pathetic that you not only have that, but you have his vice president, and this is where the comedy comes in, Kamala Harris, talking about Black Lives Matter. I am a black and brown person, and I was at the civil rights protest, and we need to take great care. It is very important for you to vote because the black vote matters and your vote matters. And me, I'm sitting up here like, you put black men in prison and kept them in prison past their release dates for jail. No, let me call it what it is. Slave labor. And now you're a champion of civil rights. Civil rights? You can't even respect these men's human rights. So, and where I say it's comical is the Democratic Party is like, hey, we have a black person. This is a black person. This is progress. We love black people. Look, we're going to put a black person on the ticket. Oh, look, Obama. He was the first black president. He's so amazing. You guys literally get the most neoliberal black people that you could ever get. They're borderline conservative black people who do not represent the interests of African American people. Barack Obama slammed black fathers on Father's Day. He could have used it as an opportunity to celebrate the black men who are great fathers, but no. He just feeds into the stereotype of black men not being good fathers and being deadbeat dads on Father's Day. This is the first black president of the United States. Kamala Harris, who will be both the first women and the first, black vice president, if she is, if they're inaugurated in office, literally put a bunch of black men in jail disproportionately. She put more black men in jail than her predecessor. This is what you are telling us is progress? See, guys, this is the problem with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, they'll give you all the virtue signaling you want. Oh, black women. Oh, let's take a knee and wear a kente cloth for George Floyd. Oh, let's have Joe Biden come out and say black lives do matter. Oh, look, did you see that? Elizabeth Warren was protesting. Now, in Elizabeth's defense, she is a lot better on these issues than Joe and Kamala. But I'm saying, like, everyone was so excited about Elizabeth Warren being out in the streets protesting and this, that, and the third. And it's like, it's all virtue signaling. That's all it is. All of them. Virtue signal. That's it. All of them. Because, let me tell you something. Black people are more likely to die from COVID-19 than whites. 3 times more likely. Black people are more likely to lose their home due to eviction because of COVID. They're more likely to be frontline workers. They're more likely to be underinsured or not insured at all. So I ask you, if you care about black people, where's the hazard pay? Where is Medicare for all? Where is the fucking stimulus? Where's the fucking stimulus? Where is it? Where is it, Nancy? Where is it? You know? Black people and poor people generally are going to be disproportionately affected by climate change. Where's the Green New Deal? Now, Kamala was one of the senators who originally presented the Green New Deal, but now she's backed off of it and said, oh, Joe Biden has a plan. You're selling out your own bill. Which is why when Mike Pence brought it up in the debate, she couldn't talk about it because you can't talk about it without she couldn't address the Green New Deal not because Mike Pence was correct. He was totally wrong. Joe Biden does not support a Green New Deal, but she couldn't even talk about the Green New Deal without being a hypocrite, because if she talked about it, it would be like, and said she supported it, then it would be like, oh, so you're at odds with Joe Biden, who you're running with. But if she said she was against it, she's a hypocrite because she was one of the senators who presented it. Look, this is my point. These people don't care about black people. They don't care about white people. They don't care about Asian people. They don't care about anyone but the rich and their wealthy donors and securing power and beating Donald Trump. These are the only things they care about. They don't care about anything else. And if you for 1 second think that Kamala Harris getting in office is progress for African American people, you are sadly mistaken, and you're fucking naive. I'm sorry. You're naive. You are. Everyone who's saying, hey, this ticket might not be the greatest ticket. Kamala might not have the best record with black people. Joe Biden, he did right the crime. But they're better than Trump. And look, if they get in there, somehow we can maybe magically move them to the left. You guys are fucking idiots. I'm sorry to say. I love you guys so much. I really do. But if you think this, you're a fucking idiot. You know why? Because they're not moving. They're going to continue the same policy. The same things that lock up black and brown people are going to continue to be locked up under the next administration, just like this one. You know what? Donald Trump, who I utterly detest his policies, at least he did a First Step Act. At least he made it so that it will be easier for African Americans who are nonviolent offenders to not only transition out of jail, but get jobs and be back in society. Now, he didn't do enough. But if you look at his record with African Americans, his record is better than Biden's. And everyone's championing Biden as this most progressive president since FDR, for the people, the champion of minorities. And he's not, okay? He's not. Everyone's being like, oh, Kamala was like she's some civil rights activist, like she's the second coming to Gandhi. She's not, okay? She's not. She's not. It's all bullshit. So, look, I'm going to end with this. If you vote for Joe Biden because you think he's better than Trump, then I cannot argue with that. That's a good argument. Overall in policy, he is better than Trump. Trump is abysmal, okay? But let's not pretend like being better than Trump is good. And let's not pretend like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, God forbid, something happens to Joe Biden, knock on wood. Let's not pretend that either a Joe Biden presidency, a Kamala vice presidency, or a potential Kamala presidency will do anything to change things for the black community at all. Or the average American. Let's not pretend. Because it's a fucking joke. And it's just not true.